25th of October, Rabbi Furst, Mishnah Berurah.
We are now learning Mishnah Berurah, our second shiur for the day. Learning Nasias Kapayim and Siman Kuf Chavchet. We are now in the middle of Sif Ches. Let's review Sif Ches and we'll go through the Mishnah Berurah. We started it yesterday briefly, but we'll continue on today, Mitzvah Hashem. Yeah. Barry or Mayor, who would like to read? Any volunteers?
You're starting with Ches again?
Yeah, we didn't finish it, so let's review the Mechaber and we'll see the Mishnah Berurah. We'll review the Mishnah Berurah, no harm done.
Okay, so I should start with the Mishnah Berurah?
No, start with Ches. Let's review the Mechaber and the Mishnah Berurah after that.
Okay. Kishematchil Shaliach Tzibor Ritzei Kol Kohen Shebebeis HaKnesses Nekor Mimkamo Lalos Haduchan Va'af Im Lo Yegia Sham Ad Sheyasayim Shaliach Tzibor Rotzeh Shapir Dami. Avo im lo akor raglov beritzei shuv lo yale. So he has only a certain window of opportunity to go up.
Right. So,
but if he doesn't, he has to leave. He just can't hang around, right? He has to leave.
If we'll see soon in the Mishnah Berurah. If he has not uprooted his feet, then he actually could, if I'm not mistaken, actually remain in the Beit Knesset. We'll see. So, but the basic halacha is once the Shaliach Tzibor begins to say Ritzei, so the Kohanim, and there's called Kohen Beit Knesset. Every Kohen in the Beit Knesset should move from his place and go up to the Duchen. Now, even though he doesn't reach there until, let's say it's a big shul, so he's not going to get there until the Shratz is at the end of Ritzei, that's okay, that's still okay. But if he didn't uproot his feet and move from his place by the time the Shratz got to Ritzei, he can't go up there anymore. Let's see, we'll take a look and find out what happens if the Kohen, for some reason, he was davening long or something like that, and he didn't have a chance to do anything and move before they got to the end of it. Say, what should he do? Should he stay where he is? Should he leave the shul? We'll take a look at the Mishnah Berurah. We'll see what the Mishnah Berurah says. Let's say Sif Katan Chav Pei in the Mishnah Berurah. We did this yesterday. We'll just do it again briefly. It's one short little Mishnah Berurah.
Matchil Shaliach Tzibor, etc. Hainu L'chatchila Yezoher Lakor L'chatchilat Hashliach Tzibor Ritzei Avo Im Lo Akor Ad Shekavar Hitchil Hashliach Tzibor Ritzei Kol Shelo Siem Racha Ritzei Shapir Dami. Okay.
So ideally, the Kohen has to be careful that he should move from his place when the Shliach Tzibor begins Ritzei. So if a Kohen is going to be davening along davening, he has to be able to coordinate his davening with the Shliach Tzibor beginning to say Ritzei. Right? But let's say he didn't, and it's B'di'evet. This is B'di'evet. right? He hasn't moved when the shots began, let's say. Nevertheless, the whole time that he hasn't finished the bracha, let's say, it's still okay that he, the Kohen, can now move and go up to the ducha. Now, what about Chavchlav in the Mishnah Berurah that the Shliach Tzorah was in holding by Ritzei? What does Ritzei have to do with all this?
We're saying Kol Kohen Shenemar Vayitza Aharon et Yadav El Ha'am Vayivorechem. Well, we got a problem here now. Now Aaron's blessing. We'll have to talk about this tomorrow.
Why? What's problem?
No, because now it's saying that it's mentioning a pasuk that Aaron raised his hands and he blessed the people.
Right.
So tomorrow we'll talk about how can Aaron bless the people.
Oh, that in terms of what we were referring
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
So
Right.
we'll do that tomorrow morning.
Yes, I will save that for the 9 o'clock slide.
Okay. ואחר כך, וירד משוש החטוס. משמע שברך קודם שנסתלק בעבודו, וכן תקנו גם תקנו גם.
They established also Tiknu was the in terms of the setting up of the way the prayers, the protocol for the prayers that the Kohanim go up during Ritzei, right? Came Tiknu, the prayers were established with this format based on the pasuk we just read.
They had that in mind.
Exactly.
Gam, but so they're recreating, Okay. Ishalu hakahanim leduchan kodim siyum baracha avodah.
Right. The bracha Ritzei is the bracha of the avoda, right? So therefore, when they instituted, we'll see this later on. Really, you don't have to have. Did you ever wonder why Birkas Kohanim is put there smack in the middle of the Shmona Esrei in the Chazar Sashatz? Doesn't have to be there.
Could be other places. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's really something which is it's not part of the prayer service. Right? It's not part of Shmona Esrei. There's no necessity, in essence, why it has to be there right in the middle of the Chazar Sashatz. But they decided that they wanted to model this after some of the avodah that took place in the Beis Hamikdash, so they put it there because of the association to the avodah that took place in the Beis Hamikdash. So therefore, it was implanted into the Chazor Sashatz of the Shmona Esrei.
I mean, one logical reason would be that they would want the Kohanim to go up to the Duchen and give the bracha when most of the congregation is there. In other words, you don't want to give the bracha during Shir Shal Yom or something, because half the people are running for their bus. So you know what I'm saying? So you want to time the bracha where you're going to have the most people are stuck there because it's in the middle of Shmona Esrei.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense to do it there.
Good. Okay. Let's see Chav Zayin.
So Zion, Ad she Yisayim Shaliach Tzibur Ritzei Lo Dafka. Doesn't have to be this way.
Not specifically, meaning it said, you might think Ad she Yisayim Shat should say, meaning that's your limit, let's say, but he's saying Lavdav, not necessarily so.
The filu im lo yagia sham ad sheyasayim hashliach tzibor
Modi,
birchas. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
שיעשיר בירכס מודין, גם כן ליסלון בו כל שיעקור רגליו ברצי, ואייך דרשע, נוקט רצי. או עד
So it really can go, really the coin has until the end of Modim, not the end of Ritzay, but till the end of Modim. So that's quite a few extra seconds there.
Yeah. Oh, it's to the end of Modim.
The end of Modim,
Okay.
right? That's what he
I
said.
always I'm always thinking that the Kohanim are late when they go up in the middle of Modim. It's
Right.
permissible. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Okay.
That's because the Ikur Korah Mikve Acher Netila. She'ozra'u la'los l'duchan v'chein yakor yakru laglehem litol yedehem koidim rotzei.
Okay, one
What does that
second.
mean? What's
Yeah.
happening before rotzei?
Okay, so he says Od Kasru, meaning it's written further, the Iker Hikira, when you're moving from your place, Bikri Achen Netila, the meaning obviously if the Kohanim are getting up to go to wash their hands, they're already moving from their place, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Mishnah Berurah is saying that's not really considered the moving from their place which we're concerned about, right?
Ah.
The Azroi La'olos, the Duchan, right? That the Iker Agleim Litul Yadeim Kodem say, right? That they have to, in order to prepare themselves to duchen, they have to move themselves to wash their hands. But that's not really considered to be the moving that we're concerned about, whether or not they can go up afterwards or not, right? That the Ikru Ragleim Litul Yadeim Kodem say, they should move out of their place in order to wash their hands before getting to Ritzay. Ritzay, go ahead, take over. Ritzay, Ikru.
V'yakru ragleihem l'lech l'makam hamuchan l'duchnam.
And when the shots gets to Ritzay, that's the time what they should now move from their place, move their feet in order to go to the place where they're going to do the duchen.
U'v'di'avar u'v'd'v'yevid im lo notal yadav kodem ritzei. So they don't lift up their hands before ritzei. So they're already on the duchen at that time.
Right.
V'im yelech l'tol yadav Yisayim Hashliach Tzibor Birchas Ritzei. Afal Pikein Yakor Ritzei Lelech Lemakam Haduchan. So that's why they call so that's correct. So that's when. Well, in my shul, they call out when the Kohanim are already on the Duchan and they've assembled. That's when they call the Kohanim. So I don't know if that's correct.
Again,
they should be called. They should be called to come to the Duchan.
Yeah, but basically all they say is Kohanim. They don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a formal formula that you have to say to them.
ואחר כן ייטול ידו שם שיחיו שם מים סמוך למקום הדוכן.
That's if they're gonna have it brought water to the place where they're gonna duchen. Not all places do that.
Now, how do they do this? They bring
Water. They bring. As I mentioned to you in the Breuer Shul in Washington Heights, the Hidashi Reim. So on Yom Tov, when they would duchen, so they had. I can't remember if they had one or two washing stations, and they were on a podium. It was a podium on wheels, and it had a silver basin and a silver pitcher, right? And the Gabayim, or the Levium, not the Gaboim, I think the Gaboim brought the podium. I forget if there was one or two. I can't remember if there's one or two podiums filled with a pitcher of water and this big silver basin. And they would put it right there before the steps going up to the Amud, where the Aron Kodesh. And the Kohanim would wash their hands right there at the Makam Haducha. Yeah, I remember seeing it. Okay. Chav Ches. Now, what if he didn't? What if he didn't move fast enough, right? And he's now stuck. Let's say he didn't move his feet by the time that the shots had finished, let's say, or as we learned, he finished Modim. What's he going to do now?
ואפילו אם עקור רגליו ללך לצד חוץ ליטול ידיו. מצדד בעטרת.
עטרת זקנים.
עטרת זקנים, וזה לא חשיב עדיין akira af.
Oh, so it says here, if the Kohanim had not moved, right, their feet to go up to Duchen, and the shots had already gotten to Ritzei, so if, however, they went to get their hands washed, is that going to be considered to be moving their feet in order to Duchen? So that the Teres Zakenim, right, the Teres Zakenim is a low chashuv v'dayin akir. That's not considered to be a moving towards the Duchenim. However, even
Afshanit lo he hechsher l'sias kapayim.
Absolutely right. Even though that the washing of the hands is a heksher, it's like a heksher mitzvah for the washers, the duchenim, right? To be in a car, the makam haduchen, you have to move from your place to get to the duchen. Yeah.
Devinun akora makam haduchen v'zeh haya akiroso letzad chutz.
Chutz. This is still considered to be a movement which is going outside. It's not considered to be a movement which is going inside towards the duchen. Okay.
Al kain haminhag kishu shliach tzibor megia l'ritzei lo bo'u adayin hakohanim lehichol.
Right. So this is still going to be, since it's moving outside, it's not moving towards the duchen, and therefore, because of this, the minhag is that when the shots reach is ritzei, the low bo'adayin kohanim lehichol, and the kohen have not yet returned to the sanctuary. They that he should wait and he should slow down his davening. You've probably seen this from time to time. That's what if he sees that the Kohen have not yet come to Duke and he's getting close to getting to the end of it, so he slows down, he waits.
Yeah.
Because we're concerned.
L'chashinon shema adayin lo okru ragleihem memokem harchitza l'lech litzad haduchan kosu
So
haposkim.
therefore, the shot should wait there before, and not rush up. He should rather slow down and wait for the Kohanim to get to the Duchen if he sees that they're running late.
Mhm. What would be the proper way? So that would be the job of the Gabbai to kind of go up and give him a hand signal?
Yeah. The Gabbai should be watching out and what's going on, and he should give him a high sign to slow down.
Right.
Kasav Aposkim.
Kosu haposkim shim akor raglov mebesa leva lebeis hakeneses umotza achar retzei.
So let's say a Kohen was living in his house and he was rushing, came out of his house and he was coming to shul. So he's coming out of his house, going to shul. Is that considered to be uprooting his feet to come to do the duchening? It turns out that the tzibur is after Retzei. Afal P.
Rabbi, the next rabbi is coming in now.
Okay,
Oh.
so we'll stop here. Continue tomorrow.
Okay, we'll put a mark here. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Thank you, Lou.
Okay.